Hey guys, welcome to the KJ Methods YouTube channel. Okay, in this first topic, we're going to go way back to when you learn fractions, decimals, and percentages. I find that many students are weak in these areas when they come to the real estate class, and it makes it more difficult for them to understand some of these numbers and how they convert back and forth. Understand that these numbers are simply different expressions of the same thing. It's just like someone saying, hey, I got $1. Somebody else says, well, I got 4 quarters. Somebody else says, well, I got 10 dimes, right? And so it's the same thing. We're just expressing it in a different manner. But you do kind of need to understand what the difference is between a fraction, decimal, and percentage to master the real estate concepts. Now, when we're talking about any of these three things, fractions, decimals, or percentage, we're just talking about a part of a whole. So we're expressing it as a part of the whole thing. Let's take a look. So a fraction is simply a part of a whole. A percentage is a part of a whole, but it's based upon 100%. And a decimal is simply a part of a whole also, but it's based upon 1. So let's take a look. If we have a pizza pie and there are 2 slices to that pizza, when we try to do a fraction, what we're saying is the bottom of the fraction is the entire pizza, how many pieces there potentially are. And look here, you can see there are potentially 2 slices of pizza. The top number is going to be whether there's something missing or whether it's present. Let's say I say to you, how many pieces are missing? You would say, hey, KJ, there's 1 piece out of the 2 pieces that are missing. And so we say it is 1/2. Well, then how do we convert that 1/2 over to a percentage? Well, a percentage is based upon 100%. So that means the whole is going to be 100 on the bottom. And then half of 100 would be 50. Okay, so I think you guys know how to do that. But when we're looking at percentages, how do we then convert that to a percentage? Well, all we do is take the top of the fraction and put a percentage behind it. Yep, that's it. So 50 over 100 is the same as 50%. Well, how do we then convert that percentage over to a decimal? Now, I noticed that a lot of students do not know their place values, so they don't know how to simply convert it from a percentage to a decimal in terms of just move it over, right? Move it to the left, move it to the right. Many students do not know how to do that. And so how do you go from a percentage to a decimal pretty easily? Well, just take that same 50 and put the period in front of the 50 and now drop the percentage. What did we do? We said it is 0.50 of 1. What does that mean? Let's make sure we understand. It means it's not quite 1 yet. Because if you remember from school, 1 or 2 or 3, those whole numbers have a period after those numbers. But a decimal has a period before the number. That means it's not quite 1 yet. So we're not at 1. So 0.25, we're not at 1. 0.50, we're not at 1 yet. Okay? Let's see if you can do it. The first one, let's go from the 1/4, that means 1 out of 4 parts, to a percentage. Well, we would go over and put the 100 on the bottom, because you know now percentages are based on 100. Well, what is 1 out of 4, right? That would be a quarter of it. So 25 over 100. Now, how do we get the percentage? Just take the 25 and put a percentage after it. Easily, we can get from that to a decimal by just putting 25 and putting that point in front of it. How do we go from a decimal back to a percentage? Well, we're going the reverse way now. We just go back and we say that that is 60%. If we were over 100, it is 60 over 100. All right, let's move that over to a fraction. That would be the same as 6 pieces out of 10 pieces. Now, look at this. This is funky, right? Equals 3/5. How did I get 3/5 from 6/10? Well, if you remember, we used to have that thing called least common denominator, right? We said, if you find one number that goes into both, then we can reduce it down to a smaller number. And so I would say 2. 2 goes into 6, 2 goes into 10. How many times does it go into 6? 3 times. How many times does it go into 10? 5 times. And so it is now reduced all the way down. We can't reduce it any further to 3/5. Next one, we're at percentages of 90%. Let's move over to decimals. You know that that would be 0.9. How do we move it back over to the other side? That would be 9 over 10. 9 over 10. All right? So hopefully that is a quick explanation and it'll get you started working towards our next modules.
Jumpstart your real estate career with KJ Method. Pass the exam with flying colors, only with KJ Method.